Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our third game of the day coming up here. Our second match with Fnatic, and now they'll be testing their skills against Meet Your Makers. And we'll see whose makers are actually met. LD, how you feeling here?
I'm great. MYM are not great. They are. We were wrong. We had forgotten one of their days of play. They are 1-4 in the group stage, not 1-2.
Whoa.
So, yeah, they are last. I think they're last place right now, actually.
Yeah, Virtus Pro have been looking a little weaker, but they haven't played as many
Virtus
games.
Pro's 0-3.
Yeah,
1-4 is like very. Only the top 4 even qualify for playoffs. Sure, maybe if they win out, they can possibly make it into tiebreakers. But if they lose one more game, they're pretty much done.
Yep. So we'll hop right into this draft, guys, and see how Fnatic fares.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sound the Tony alarm. Why do teams give Fnatic Tiny Wisp? I don't know.
You know, it's tricky right now. There's a lot of scary heroes. About those 6 heroes that teams are looking to first ban, first pick. But Fnatic, there's an additional one, and that's the Wisp. You let it scoot through, and they will not hesitate to pick it up. They thought for a second, and they said, you know what? We're getting Tiny right now. We don't want to get it banned out. And unfortunately for Fnatic, that does hand over Invoker and Centaur to MYM, who are 2 scary heroes in their own right, but I don't know. Are they scary enough to deal with the Tiny Wisp combo from Fnatic, LD?
I mean, you can understand the bans from MYM's side. Trixie just played a fantastic Ember Spirit in his previous game, and they are on the dire side, so you don't really want to give them Lycan. The other option, though, is instead of just banning these 2 heroes out, you can leave them both in the pool and then get something in a trade for yourself. Fnatic banned Bat and then Naga, but maybe they leave the Naga in the pool and decide to ban Ember instead. And MYM, they love to run Naga Siren. We've seen Ryze play a pretty good one, so I'm not really I don't really like the way MYM drafted this. I mean, I definitely think you want to ban Lycan, but I think you leave Ember in the pool, you risk giving it away, and maybe even just leave both in the pool and get a trade. So
yeah,
I think that's the best way to go. Just leave them both out there. Give away the Dire Lycan if you have to, but then you can get like potentially the Naga or the Ember for yourself. It's not a great choice. I don't know. It's tough. It's just basically it's tough for the enemy team to be Fnatic because you have to worry about the Wisp, like you said.
There's too many scary heroes in the pool right now, and that's part of the reason why we're all looking forward to patch 6.81, which any minute now, LD, you never know.
Hopefully. Our ticket's coming.
Our ticket's coming, guys. I know we've gotten so many tweets, so many questions in Twitch chat. I can't find the ticket. What is it listed under? It is not in the store yet. It will be there as soon as 6.81 is released. It's all set up. It's all squared away. The bundle will be there, but we just have to wait for the patch. So we do apologize for that slight delay, but I heard some whispers through the grapevine that we're not the only ones waiting on a ticket in this patch. So
ESL's waiting for theirs.
Yeah. Not isolated to BTS.
Not just ESL. It's like 10 other events, 15 other events. I think D2CL is waiting for theirs, but
yeah,
you should buy our ticket. Ours is the best. We get the teams at the house. We get them on the couch.
Yeah.
We get them talking Dota. So
and you get that awesome axe set. I know there's a lot of axe sets, but this one's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Harbinger of the Moon axe.
Yeah.
Come on now.
No, I actually think ESL is going to be an awesome event, and I recommend buying both tickets. But yeah, we'll see. So second stage of the draft, Fnatic will go for the tree. We saw No-Tail play a really good roaming tree in the first game today. That hero is extremely underrated in the lane stage. Well, I don't know if he's underrated anymore, but
he's pretty rated.
Some people seem to respect him, other teams don't. And MYM let him slip through. They banned Storm, Puck, 2 heroes that do synergize well with Tiny Wisp because it gives you this fantastic global gank. So I don't know if I'd be too worried about the Storm pick. I mean, it is one of Hani's signature heroes, but
yeah. MYM may want to consider a disruptor for their second support here, one that works very well against the Wisp and just gives a lot of utility. You know, you've got the position tool, but you've got that big silence ultimate kinetic field can help set up some kills. But I guess Disruptor Ancient Apparition, not the best pairing. That would make MYM a little bit light on the crowd controls. Fnatic do grab the Darkseer for their offlane, and probably a slight deny pick as well as a hero that just works well with their draft, as Darkseer does cut through that Treant armor. As we mentioned earlier on today, Dragon Knight, another hero that works pretty well against Tree, but I don't think he'll work in this MYM draft too easily. Right now, they really don't have much to deal with that living armor.
Yeah, they have Ancient Apparition ult and Forge Spirits, but Forge Spirits are okay. Cold Snap, it's
could be worse.
It's not great though. You'd ideally want like Darkseer, maybe Dazzle, Ember Spirit, these types of heroes. Just constant damage over time.
Venomancer, that Viper, it's another good one.
Well, they've gone for Ancient Apparition. They do have a very clear game plan on MYM, which is Just global gank, get the Blink Dagger on Centaur, and basically try and run it like how we saw DK do at Star Ladder. Just constantly go for pickoffs with the Sunstrike, with the Ancient Apparition ultimate. And Ancient Apparition does pretty well at zoning out Darkseer in the offlane because of Chilling Touch, but there's the Living Armor to worry about. The offlane Centaur against Tiny Wisp, it can be good. Ooh.
Whoa, tied.
Well, the combo breaker. It kind of looks like a support tide, though, which I'm not too crazy about.
Yeah, unfortunately...
Because it's support tied against Darkseer if they want to run it that way, and that is
not
very underwhelming against Ion Shell.
Yeah, unfortunately, even though they got the Invoker and Centaur with their first 2 picks, it kind of pigeonholes their strategy a little bit. There are a lot of other offlaners and mid-heroes out there, and they could put Invoker in more of a safe lane role. I guess there's a chance that...
Well, they could run like Invoker mid, Centaur offlane, and then just pick up like supports that can get more done in the mid game constantly. Like Sand King is a possibility. In terms of safe lane carries, there's
Luna's in the pool.
Luna out there, yeah, like heroes that can split push and just pressure towers effectively. I'm wondering if they're maybe going to run the Tidehunter mid and just run Invoker as their safe lane farmer.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, and get your Tide some fun.
Invoker's kind of a dubious one-position hero, though. Like, he offers you... the thing is that hero just offers you so much from the mid lane. He offers great rune control with the Forge Spirits.
Yeah.
In particular, he wins most 1v1 matchups, or at least breaks even, and he's pretty well protected against ganks.
Yeah.
He's a hard hero to gank mid, so... Yeah, he'll probably be safe in the bottom lane, but you're trading farm on Invoker for Tiny Wisp at that point. So if they do that, they have to get an early Blink Dagger on Centaur, and they have to get a quick level 6 on Ancient Apparition, and they have to fight kills. If they don't, the game will fall apart.
And Gyrocopter, the 5th ban for MYM. And it's kind of hard to gauge how Fnatic are going to lane this. Usually when they have Tiny Wisp, it will be a duo lane in the mid, Darkseer in the off lane. And that leaves us with Treant +1 for the bottom. Gyro could have worked here. I mean, a carry would have been just fine, but I doubt it will be a tri-lane for Fnatic unless they really want a good solo mid here, unless they want like Viper or something for the solo mid.
Lion's the choice. So it will be I think this is a solo mid Lion for Hani, actually. Darkseer offlane for Trixie, Tiny Wisp in the safe lane.
And then Tree kind of tri-lane / jungling.
Lion. Is that what we're going to see?
Is this finally going to be our Ag Scepter Vacuum Lion mid with the big fingers? LD, we talked about it in the studio. I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Is this the time?
Have we seen it? Has anyone done the Ags Lion in a pro game?
I've
seen Ags, but it's not like... It wasn't like to win the game. The game was already over.
And I haven't seen it paired with the Darkseer yet, where the line has been able to get an Ag.
There's no Magnus or Enigma.
Yeah, I have not seen just an epic 5-finger just fisting the other team. Yeah, I have high hopes. Hani, please do not disappoint. We'll see. Vengeful Spirit, final choice here for MYM.
Wow. All right, let's see how they're gonna lane it. Tree's not really a great farming hero, so that should be. I think it's got to be a farming Lion. I mean, the only question is they could also dual lane mid. Yeah, Hani Lion. Here we go. I don't know if... I'm going to actually do a little Det Dota check. Right. He may have run this before and we just didn't cast the game.
Do a little Lion research. I mean, I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure there have been the epic fingers, but the question is, in a true competitive game where there's something on the line, that's a totally different kind of ball game here.
Vengeful Spirit, the final choice for MYM, so it will be a solo mid-tide. Rise taking that role up. Invoker safe lane. They do have a very strong tri-lane. Venge, Ancient Apparition, Invoker. That is a lot of right-click damage. This is... Trixie might just have to abandon the offlane. He's up against triple ranged heroes with Venge Stun, Chilling Touch, and Invoker. So I think Trixie's just not going to be able to lane bottom, to be honest. If he does, he's probably going to feed.
Yeah, it'll be really rough. Just to get those initial levels as well. You always go Ion Shell first, and then that level 1, you're stuck without Surge, and that's when you need to be most careful, because Chilling Touch is so potent in those early levels, especially with 3 ranged heroes. It is very difficult to deal with as a little Ishkafel Darkseer. We will move into a pause to get things started. It looks like our Ancient Apparition here having some connection issues. That is Unicorn on MYM. So we'll have a moment to deliberate. I like this draft from MYM. They've got pretty solid team fight. They've got a lot of lockdown. They're a little light on carry power. A lot riding on the back of this Invoker. I think this will definitely be a Midas game. Will he be able to outcarry the Tiny Wisp? That will be tricky, but they still have some great team fight and can definitely give Fnatic a run for their money here. I'm still just caught up in this Lion.
He has not played Lion in his last 150 games.
Oh my gosh.
So if he's played it...
This could be Dota history here, LD.
This is Hani's first recorded game according to Dat Dota on Lion for... Oh.
Except for that one right there.
Wait, why is it not finding? Okay. He played 2 games at the end of last year. No, 3 games at the end of last year.
Oh, that's 20... Huh.
And 2013.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Let's
check out these games while we got some time here. So
Dream League Finals?
He played it, and that was at the Dream League their warm-up season or whatever, I guess.
Okay. And MLG Columbus.
8-1-6. All right. He fragged pretty hard in this game. Let's see what else. Waiting for the other games to load. So he has. I mean, obviously he knows how to play the hero, but it's more like, will we see that new Lion with the eggs upgrade doing work?
Yeah, I mean, Lion's pretty easy to understand on paper. He's a low skill cap hero.
Well, hitting a good Impale is quite difficult.
You can line.
It's the same as it's similar to Nick's stun and then Burrow Strike, where
I guess
lining up a really good one is quite difficult.
I guess the point I was trying to make is he's low skill cap compared to a lot of other heroes that Hani plays very well, like Invoker, for example.
Yeah. Well, the hero's abilities are easier to use, but the hero's also very easy to feed on. So
yeah, that's a fair point.
Positioning is very important on Lion and anticipating movements, and if you get caught, 290 move speed, 1 armor. Yeah. Like we saw the Shadow Shaman. Same thing can happen to Lion.
Yes, very easily. That's a good analogy. So, all right, we're connected. We're ready to rock and roll, and yeah, that is Unicorn on Ancient Apparition. His name didn't update on the list, but that is him. So we're going to do some rosters. Here on the Dire side, we do have Team Fnatic, the fan favorites coming into this match. I think something like 83 on Dota 2 Lounge, 83%. And that might be a little high, but pretty close. MYM really have not been in full form throughout this tournament of the Summit EU. We'll have Hani playing on the Lion, and I think he'll be slated for that solo mid role. It will be Trixie and a little bit of off-lane Darkseer action. Fly on the Treant Protector, No Tail, the Ni Sama on the Wisp, and of course he'll be supporting Era's Tiny up here in the top lane.
And on the Radiant side, we have Ace as the off-lane Centaur, Crit as the support Venge. They are running Ryze as the solo mid-Tide Hunter. We have seen a little bit of Tide. I know EG ran it. They ran it off-lane for Universe. Link as the safe lane Invoker, rushing Rune of Bassi, and probably going... Well, let's see what build he goes. Probably Quas Exhort, I would say. Unicorn on the Ancient Apparition. And Unicorn does have sentries. Also, the Radiant side did place... the Ace went top lane right at the beginning. He dropped this ward first, and should have seen Fnatic drop theirs. So I wonder if we'll see the Ancient Apparition journey top to de-ward that. It is quite a trip. But they should know where this Observer Ward is. Yeah,
and the other Observer from the Dire side is in the mid lane here. Just a nice mid lane ward for Lion.
It's Lion mid. Like you need every bit of vision just so this hero doesn't feed.
Yeah, and they don't have to worry about runes too much. I mean, sure, Fnatic want to get the runes, but it won't be on Lion as much. I'm kind of curious to see how he skill builds this as well. If he ends up getting points in mana drain for that harassment, or if he just goes the Hex Impale.
It's going to be our first blood. They do have a haste rune on Crit. In they go.
Fly gets the magic missile first. There's the avalanche from Era to buy some time. Fly throws out the leech seed. That'll heal him up a little bit. The tether from No Tail just not enough. And Centaur secures the first blood. Ace with the bonus 400 gold out of the gate.
That's what you got to do against Tiny Wisp, is take the pressure to them. They are actually very scary, even once they get to like level 3 to 5. And if you just sit back and let them farm, you're going to have a bad time. So lucky haste rune, great early use of smoke, and MYM off to a nice start on the back of that. Tiny Wisp, kill him once this early. It's nice, not the end of the world, but what it should allow the Centaur to do is just play more aggressively, which is exactly what Ace is doing top.
And, Wisp tethers forward. I thought they may try and set something up.
They can't do anything until like level 3 or so. Like level 1 Wisp, like maybe if he didn't have first blood, but yeah, not now.
Yeah. And Era's so tiny. The low-level Tiny, I can't even click on him next to the creeps. He's so little, living up to his name. So I'm still...
Midget. Ooh. Needs to get on the demon workout plan.
Yeah. All right, so Lion will go for the mana drain build. Level 3, he's 1-0-2. So he's just trying to suck all that mana from Ryze and continue to spam that Earth Spike. A pretty solid build when you're in the mid lane. It's really annoying to lane against.
This is one of those spells that's been perpetually buffed over the past few patches. It's kind of the reverse vacuum treatment.
Yeah.
And I think the one other thing to point out about the first blood this game is that because they rotated top, Trixie got level 3 right away. Where I was mentioning, like, it's very hard for the Darkseer to stay in lane.
Yeah.
Level 3 Darkseer, sure, he's going to get harassed here, but chances of killing him are quite low. So they get first blood, but it is a big trade-off by MYM.
Yeah, it's all about getting that level 2 to get the first point in Surge. Once you have that, a Darkseer really shouldn't fall unless there's some extraneous factor like smoked up rotation from another lane or a Centaur with an invisibility rune, as we see here in the mid. Ace potentially lining up a gank on Hani, though he can't really find the opening. Hani is just positioned a bit too well on the other side of the tower, and Ace will get revealed by the tower, but no, Courier comes in. That'll survive. Sunstrike is on the money, and Hani double Earth Spike. Will it be
one more right click? Just hit the hero.
Oh no.
Could have just right-clicked him. Now the Courier comes in tower range. Rise, what's going on, man? Oh my goodness.
And the Centaur actually falls. Hani's the one that walks away with a kill.
That was a great Earth Spike by Hani, but Rise he's gonna get stunned again. He might go down under tower if he's not careful. One more right-click, Rise. Oh,
so close.
He should have just right-clicked him.
Yeah, I guess he was trying to get in position for the anchor smash. I'm not really sure why he positioned himself that way.
I'm pretty sure he had the kill on the Lion, because the Lion, I guess, the other thing is he may have expected Living Armor to come in. Didn't actually notice if it had been used. But.
No, it didn't. That was the first time we saw it there. I think it was on cooldown or fly was just a little slow. It is only level 1, so it's a 32-second cooldown. So good chance that it was.
Yeah, now this is trouble for MYM. Like, look at how aggressive Trixie can play bottom.
Yeah.
They could potentially kill him, but well, let's see. Link does have Sunstrike online.
Sunstrike on the money, and Link does secure that kill. So
well, he can be annoying in lane, but he does have to respect the burst damage.
Yeah.
Chilling Touch is so... I'd say Ancient Apparition, even though he doesn't have a stun, is still one of the best supports against Darkseer, just because you can just right-click him.
Yeah, that's very
and
true.
trade effectively.
Yeah, now Darkseer, though, he's 15-1 in terms of creep kills. The Centaur, on the other hand, 3-0. Ace has found a little bit of experience, sitting level 3, 2 points in that double edge. Tranquil boots up, but his farm is pretty lackluster. Even though Trixie did concede to death, he is much better off right now. And Hani's
going to rotate top with a haste.
Ooh, yeah, that's the haste rune. And I think
this was spotted by the Radiant side. They do have an Observer Ward, so he'll get out.
Ace make it back, yep.
And the thing is, they can't really push. So that's the one issue with Lion rotating early is this hero doesn't threaten towers that much. So if you don't get the kills, then it's like, whatever.
Yeah, and Crit will rotate through. That pushes Hani back, and he'll just go back to the mid lane and continue farming up top. They want to set something up on Ace, but they just don't have a lot of kill power right now. Tiny Wisp still reasonably low level, and Tree, yeah, he's good in the early levels with that Leech Seed, but Centaur is a little too tanky. He is not easy to bring down. And there's your power treads coming out on Tony.
Yeah, this is the build Era favors. Just early treads, Ags Rush, very efficient for farming with the Wisp. Maximizes just your ability to clear stacks.
And he usually likes to get the Yasha after the
They also have to be careful about diving because of the Invoker. He does have Sunstrike, and he's level 3 Exhort, so if they overextend, it could be very bad.
Yes, indeed. Arcane Boots now up on the Tidehunter, so that'll give him a little more power in this mid lane. Limits how much crippling damage Hani can put out with that mana drain. But still very annoying. Rise very close to level 6 as well, and Lion already has the Finger of Death.
They're going to go bottom on Trixie right now.
And he'll actually be in the cold feed as this the cold snap comes out. Living Armor, Sunstrike off the mark, and actually the double Ion Shell. Oh no, it's just a single Ion Shell, pardon me. Doing a fair bit of damage. Both of them will get zoned out. Trixie, he's going to wrap around here. He wants to be aggressive. He sees Unicorn, and he wants it.
Surges in. He's not done yet.
And there's your Ion Shell. Trixie, he'll secure that kill, but he does get cold snapped.
Well,
and
that's
trades
not
one
worth
for
it.
one.
That is not worth it. You don't want to feed Invoker just to kill the Ancient Apparition.
Yeah. So a little hyper-aggressive there from Trixie, but...
And Link, now level 7, he's almost got Midas. He's actually doing quite well, which they need. They're running a safe lane Invoker, and they're running a Tide mid, so... MYM gearing up for a very potent mid game. All their core heroes doing reasonably well. Centaur is a bit underleveled, level 4, but it's not too bad, and he's got his Tranquils, just needs to farm a Blink.
Yep. Rotation from Hani towards the bottom lane. He is smoked up, and Darkseer has now returned as well, but up top, initiation onto the Wisp, Magic Missile, there's your Avalanche from Era, trying to keep his good buddy alive.
Armor, dude, wow.
Yeah, it'll save Wisp. They won't find the return kill quite yet. Now Tide comes in the bottom lane. They did secure that kill onto Invoker, and it looks like this top fight will peter out. No, the toss from Tiny secures the kill on Centaur, and they'll try and press forward to find Crit.
They're like trying to bait out the Ravage here, because I don't even think they can get a kill with it. That really sucks.
Yes, sure does.
Like, you run Tide mid, you'd want to just TP in, Ravage, win a fight, and go do stuff, but Living Armor, Wisp Tether, and just the mobility of Wisp and fairly high HP heroes in this lane. Tiny already has 1,000 health just with power treads.
Yeah, he's very tanky.
So Ravage, actually a very strong early game nuke, 200 damage and a huge AoE, not to be underestimated, but not enough. That is really unfortunate. And like you mentioned, Hani got a kill bottom, so his first rotation works out.
Yeah, and it was on the Invoker no less, so the guy that we were talking about getting out of control, he now has the Midas recipe, but that will slow down his Midas timing, actually. The ideal time frame to set up a kill on that position 1 Invoker. Now Crit will wrap around in the bottom lane, puts down a lane ward. They get vision of Trixie, but they won't get hyper aggressive and not going for the kill quite yet. What does Trixie have here? Oh, just the headdress, working on a pretty quick mech. Standard stuff from the Darkseer. And Hani still hasn't really grabbed much in the way of items. What's coming on the Courier? Just his bottle and a TP scroll. Sitting on brown boots and a null talisman. Keeping it simple to get things started.
Yeah, MYM, I guess what do they need right now? They need the level 6 on Unicorn, they need the Blink Dagger on the Centaur, and as for the Tide, I mean, you don't want to wait until Blink to fight. Like, you already have your Arcane Boots. They're not really there yet in terms of their levels, but my concern is just how big this Tiny already is. He's already the leader in terms of net worth, and that's against a Midas Invoker.
Yeah.
Who was fed some early kills. Drums online, Treads online, and then the Ags will come next. So
Era going a very mid-game oriented opener here. So anytime there's a potential for relocate as soon as Wisp hits level 6, expect that Tiny to hop on in and join the party. I'm sure Ags will be coming out next.
Bottom.
But yeah, here we go. MYM. They'll rotate bottom. It's going to cost them their top tier 1 tower, though. They've got a glyph available, but they will not go for a defense. They want to kill Darkseer and then grab a tower kill of their own. Trixie, he has no idea the doom that is about to befall him. 3 heroes stationed behind the tier 1. And Link in the lane. It's about to be a Darkseer sandwich here. He'll surge. Magic Missile to start things off. There's your Wave of Terror. Sunstrike will be juked as he moves into the trees, but now just nowhere to go. Double Edge, Hoof Stomp, just trying to buy time, forcing them to overcommit. 3 TPs from Fnatic. Make it 4. There's a stun onto Era. Darkseer actually buys back. Link taking heavy damage. Tether from the Wisp. And they'll try to chase him down. Wisp balls will be enough. Now Unicorn, he's on the run. Other fights breaking out behind Ace and Crit. Wall of Replica. Oh, a nice vacuum. Sucks him back. They did get the kill on Ancient Apparition. And these two are in no man's land. Bench falls. Ace, is he going down? Yes, he will. Trixie's buyback proves worth it, and it will be a 4 for 1.
Why are they fighting without Tidehunter? Like, if you're going to tower dive, go with Ravage. Ryze is just off chilling mid. This is not the game plan for MYM. Game plan should be get Blink Dagger on the Centaur, fight with Ravage, and get Ancient Apparition ideally before you engage. But, well, this is always the danger against the Tiny Wisp. And they don't even have Relocate yet, but just their ability to counter gank.
Tiny tosses Hani forward. There's the Sheep, the Impale, and the Tether forward. It's just no way Tidehunter will survive that. Great stun chaining. And Fnatic grab another kill. That's basically a 1 for 5 as after they kill 4, they just rotate mid and kill the farming Tide. MYM just starting to crumble here, LD. 3,000 gold, 4,000 experience, going the way of Fnatic at only the 10-minute mark.
Yeah, and Fnatic are in their comfort zone, too. Like, we've seen Trixie's Ember Spear, that's fantastic, but generally this is what they're most well known for. Is running the Tiny Wisp, running a good tempo controllers for Hani as well as Trixie, and just getting a 5-6 slotted Era Tiny and just taking over the game. The one thing they haven't really done is secure too much farm for the Tiny in terms of stacks. There's only a single Ancient stack, and they don't... Oh, relocate top lane. Here we go.
Uh-oh, Unicorn. No way he'll survive this. The Avalanche combo.
No!
Too much Rise! It's a Shiver Ravage. Oh, no. Era may not get out scot-free, though. Ace is inbound. Nope, there's the relocate out. They'll survive. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Invoker gets killed in the bottom lane by the Trixie-Hani duo once again. Now a Blink Dagger up on Hani, so that'll make it a little easier.
What a train wreck. They didn't use their first Ravage for 11 minutes. They had it started at like 6, and then when he uses the damn thing, the travel time a while back got nerfed a little bit, so it's slower, and I think this was like 6 to 9 months ago. It was quite a few patches ago, and you see the travel time cost him there. Tiny Wisp able to just run out of Ravage range. What a disaster. Oh my goodness. This is it's similar to running the Shadow Shaman. Like, you need to get the wards. Oh, here comes Hani. For a pick-off.
No ultimate here, but we'll just harass
him.
Yeah, it has a haste rune, so will be a little irritating. It throws a mana drain for about half a second there.
But yeah, it's like the Shadow Shaman. You run a mid, you want to get the wards, and use the wards to take towers. You run Tide mid, you're doing it not to farm, but to join your team for fights and win team fights, and they just haven't found any. This is a real problem for MYM.
Tide's farm is still lackluster. He's only 0-1 and 0, but no assists on the board. They haven't gotten any towers, and he's not even close to a Blink Dagger. You would hope he'd have it up relatively soon. Crit, he gets caught. Hex straight into the tiny combo. They'll have enough to finish him off. AA ultimate flies, but the follow-up isn't there, and no one at risk of shattering.
Yeah, Fnatic are looking very scary right now, and they'll keep on hunting for kills, just driving into the enemy woods. Who cares about creeps when you can kill heroes?
Yeah. And now Tiny, he's got the point booster up, so he'll be working towards that Ag Scepter. And he'll have it before too long, not too close to it, but they're just starting to knock down towers, and that'll give him a much-needed gold boost here. Trixie has his mech complete. There are Arcane Boots up on Fly's tree. He'll be pulling up for a Blink Dagger, and I still want to know what this Lion's going for. Hani's farm is not really that crazy. 2-0 and 4. A lot of it's come from hero kills more so than creep kills. Will it be that Ag Scepter? I know you can't see me, but my fingers are crossed.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, the old, like, kind of slightly clowny pub build is just to get a dig on. And, yeah,
so bursty.
Yeah, you just, it's like auto-kill anybody, but...
It's clowny, but it's fun.
It's all relocate mid. Here we go.
And who's going to take the bulk of the damage to start things off? Vengeful will be the one to go down. Ace taking heavy damage as well, but they find a return kill on the Wisp. Wall of Replica comes down. Now Era getting right-click down. He'll get finished off by the Tidehunter. Overgrowth from Fly. Comes in a little bit late, but does lock down the Ancient Apparition. Secures that kill. Hani doesn't have a finger yet. Coming up in 12 seconds. He used it at level 1 before he hit level 11, so it's stuck on that 160-second cooldown. And that will cost Fnatic a bit in that fight. It is a 2 for 2, but they lose their Tiny and only killed the 2 supports of MYM.
I don't know if did Ravage just cool down, or was it actually? I think it was up in that fight.
I'm not
just didn't get used. They have not found. I guess the point is, like, Fnatic are very mobile with Surge and
I think it was
Blink Dagger and then Tiny Wisp, and they just have not found many.
Hani gets initiated upon Gush. There's the swap from Crit, but he'll blink back.
Oh, he trapped himself though. So they know.
Can they find him?
I don't think they realize.
He'll sip the bottle. Support is inbound. Meanwhile, in the mid, Link. He'll get sandwiched. Vacuum from the Darkseer. Ice Wall comes down. Ghost Walk as well. And they don't have the damage.
Nice reactions by Link there. Yep. Dropping the Ice Wall, Ghost Walking immediately.
Yeah. I think the Ravage was just coming up, though, because it's 150 seconds versus the 160 of Lion. His was about 10 seconds off cooldown, and they used them pretty close to each other. He got that kill right as he whiffed the Ravage, so probably popped up right as that fight was coming towards its tail end.
Yeah, the timing just has not worked out for them. Like, ideally, at this point, you should have used Ravage at least twice, and potentially even 3 times, I want to say, if you use it like right at level 6 to get a kill.
Yeah. Yeah, that mid lane with Lion and Tide, they're both 2 heroes that right as they hit level 6, there's a lot of kill potential there, but neither of them were really able to do it in the mid lane, and then it was Hani who ultimately secured that first kill when he rotated bottom. There's your Blink Dagger on the Tide finally, but doesn't come
spotted out free. Ace, though, in the jungle, and Hani's on the hunt. He's got the finger.
There's a little Froggy. Relocate in. There's your Earth Spike, all the tiny damage. That's a recipe for a dead Centaur.
Oh, come on, Hani. Chaos that shit. It's your problem, man.
1,500 gold. His next item choice should be apparent before too long here.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of other good items to go for besides Ags, as much as it's a fun item to talk about. Like, you can just get a 4-staff for his team.
Yeah, 4-staff will be okay.
It's not very exciting, though. I would be on board with an Ags. He already has Blink Dagger to initiate.
Yeah.
4-staff mainly good just to keep the Tiny alive if they go on him. And I don't know who else is actually going to build one. The tree maybe could, but tree ideally wants just a Blink Dagger, so...
I mean, what else would he get here? I guess a Scythe of Vice could be okay, get your double hexes going on.
BKB is like okay, but generally you should just be able to blink in Hex Impale, so I don't really think he needs one.
Yeah. This is getting to that point, though, where Fnatic are far enough ahead that...
Oh, the other thing is Boots of Travel. That's the other big thing that Hani loves to go for.
Yes, that's true. Given that it is Hani...
Oh, Ryze spotted them out, jumps in with the Ravage, unloads on Era, and now Era has the club. See ya.
Tidehunter, he just gets destroyed. Stampede comes out, and now they'll press forward looking for some more kills, but they just won't find the follow-up. Fly getting very aggressive, connects with 3 on that Overgrowth. Trixie coming in as well. The other parts of Fnatic went for the Invoker. They secured that kill. Now they're joining the party down here. Vengeful Spirit falls. It's just Ace and Unicorn left. Unicorn, he'll be the first to go down. Ace trying to port out. Do they have the interrupt? There's the Avalanche. It is a full 5-man wipe. 5 for nil exchange. Fnatic in great form. They'll be able to get
into the enemy well. Ooh. What is this?
Were they looking for the courier?
Maybe, but it's already at Fountain.
That was bold.
I think that's just an intimidation relocate.
Eddie takes the tree. That's why I'm going to bring our biggest, most badass-looking hero here.
Earns him just to rub it in. That is some Salt-inspiring play from Fnatic.
Oh, boy. But, yeah, they've got the tree, and now Tiny has a tree of his own. That double tree strat. It's good stuff. Tier 2 tower in the top lane falls. Ultimate flies in, but it's still only level 1. Yeah, well, it'll hit some heroes, but won't cause any shattering.
What a disaster for MYM. This is really unfortunate.
The word train wreck is coming to mind here. 12,000 gold and experience.
It's like a 10-car pileup.
Yeah.
We'll go in mid. They pop the drones and arrow. He'll be diving for Rise here.
Oh, he blinked forward too. Didn't have his blink dagger off cooldown to escape when he saw them inbound. Ends up being an easy kill for Fnatic. That's, again, just bad timing. He blinked to get kind of just, oh, yeah, let me blink forward here. And Fnatic just jumped on him.
They have no vision right now on the Radiant side. No wards up, no map control at all. Fnatic can get a gem. Fnatic can go
Now, LD, they've got one ward here up in the top lane. And they've got one outside the
Okay, yeah, they do have a ward there, but that's a pretty useless ward. Like, they're not getting to that mid lane.
Yep, Era pressing forward. Ace, target of choice. Fly with another huge overgrowth. Connects with 3. Finger of death to finish off the Centaur.
Chaos.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Now Invoker, he could be the next target as he moves through the trees. No, they'll just go straight into the tier 3. Crit, he gets turned into a frog. Earth Spike, and plenty of damage to follow up. Ancient Apparition gets dropped. Now Link, he's stuck outside of his own base. He's got Exort on. He is a slow poke. Power treads as well. There's your Avalanche. Relocate forward from the Wisp onto the high ground. He tosses the Wisp. And again, Fnatic just steamroll it. 4-0 exchange.
So, Hani not going Boots of Travel. I saw a lot of people, oh, it's Hani, he'll go bots, but no, he is going eggs. No!
We were this close! This was our game! Fnatic, you took it to him too hard. You made him tap out too early. 18 minutes, 25-6. To be fair, it seemed like a pretty appropriate time to tap out. Fnatic.
They've played 2 games, and both of them have been pretty solid beatdowns. Even rox.kis was a fairly one-sided game with the solo mid-Shadow Shaman not working out, but this was a complete beatdown. MYM are now 1-5. I thought they would be more in the middle of the pack. Like, I kind of looked at NextKZ. PRs actually look pretty good since adding Scandal to the roster. I'm trying to think what anyone else that I expected to do worse than. And also, Relax is like such a wild card. You never know what Dread's going to bring.
I would have put Virtus Pro and Relax probably in the bottom 2. Just looking at this group stage and trying to do power rankings with no matches played.
I thought MYM would be like 5th, I think, with NextKZ also in the bottom 3, but they're basically done at this point. They are, what, 1-5? So one more game to go. But
one more game to go. I think they're definitely done.
Goose is cooked.
Yeah. Roast them and toast them. Fnatic are off to a great start, though. 2-0 to start off the group stage. 2 easier matchups. Well, rox.kis is actually a hard matchup. So they've played 1 easy one hard one. They're now in great shape. But Lion mid, it's viable. Hani, 5-0-9. He didn't take a single spill that game. They couldn't pressure him. Very impressive.
Yeah, they were running... I guess the thing is, like, the solo mid Tide just didn't work out. That was the biggest issue for them. They could have ran Invoker mid and an actual carry, but they went for Tide, and if you run Tide mid, you have to make your first few Ravages work. If you don't do that, you have to have, like, a dual core, like an off-lane Prophet or something, and a really strong safe lane farmer. Barring that, you're not going to take it late game, and it's Tiny Wisp. You're probably not taking it late game anyway, but they didn't even get to late game. There was, like, 1 Ravage that game. It was just a mess.
Yeah, it's hard to draft against Fnatic right now, but that wraps up our 3rd game, guys. We've got 2 more coming today. MYM versus NextKZ will be up next, and of course, you're watching the Summit EU. The finals of all of these qualifiers will result in that 6-team big tournament here in sunny Los Angeles. In this studio, right here, you'll have players casting players. It's going to be a fun event. The ticket bundle will be available in the store once the patch comes out, 6.81. It's ready. It's approved. Just have to wait for the patch to come out. Then you can pick up that ticket bundle. It will be $10. And $250 of every purchase goes into the prize pool. And of course, this whole thing was made possible by Twitch TV. The sponsor is right above my head. Big shout out to those guys for making this possible. We'll have a quick break, and then our next match of the day coming up next.